who's not a movie person at all, when that movie came on VHS, bought it first day. I remember like would watch it weekly. So that movie is like ingrained in my head because it was always on for like 3 years in my house. It's constantly just on.
I mean, she crushes it in that movie.
When she's eating that steak, it's like the funniest thing I've ever seen. Just him watching her eat that steak and just being disgusted with her is maybe the funniest thing I've ever seen.
If you go to YouTube and type in Rotten Tomatoes, you'll see that I pulled the data and did the information for Sandra Bullock versus Julia Roberts, and I made sure to include that song, and the host, Mark Ellis, does a great job singing the song from Miss Congeniality. So you should go watch that clip.
My favorite bit is, what's the perfect date?
What'd she say?
Yes. Because all you need is a light sweater.
It's not too hot, not too cold. You just need a light jacket. Perfect. And then, like, Shatner's like staring at her. I was like, well, you can't argue that logic. Like, it's like, what do you say to that?
Wait, should we save this for a Miss Congeniality pod?
It's such a good response.
All right, so is there anything else y'all want to tackle on these movies, or should we get into our crime fight, our demon fighting crew, or ghost and whatever fighting crew?
Absolutely, I'm down with this.
All right, so I'm gonna get us started, and I'm gonna give Megan credit for this one because she gets all the credit. So I picked Dolph Lundgren almost every single time, and I was gonna avoid him on this, but it kept me from thinking outside the box because I just immediately wrote off the Dolph. But he is in a movie called Don't Kill It, and his character is a demon hunter named Jebediah Woodley, and in this movie is a creature that, if you kill it, it goes to somebody else. So you have to keep it alive.
But wait, let's visualize this. Dolph Lundgren, the tall European man, plays a character called Jebediah.
Jebediah Woodley. And it is a bloody,
I love this already.
weird, crazy movie. But he sells it. I mean, it's up in the 80s to 90% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's not that old either, is it?
No, a couple, like last year before it. But Dolph is... You know how Dolph has that kind of wry, seen-it-all attitude in some films? He's perfect in this movie, and it's just called Don't Kill It. And he just has to hunt this demon that you can't kill. And I kind of wrote a bit about, like, It Follows, It Comes at Night, and Don't Kill It. There's a lot of It movies. And so it's been itted a lot in the last few years. But Jebediah Woodley is my first pick.
I love it. I love that.
All right, so who wants to go next?
I think Megan should go next.
All right, Megan. Ladies first.
All right, so I went with, for my first choice, for what exactly are we hunting here?
Ghosts, demons,
okay,
large things.
I went with Michelle Pfeiffer from What Lies Beneath.
Ooh.
Because I just remember her being really strong and tough, and her husband's trying to kill her. He cheated on her. She figures out a mystery. She sort of battles her husband's mistress, Ghost.
And Michelle Pfeiffer's awesome.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a deep pick
I'm
right
down.
there. I wrecked What Lies Beneath while working in a movie theater for people waiting to watch it. I feel terrible still.
Brilliant. No, you do that once in your life and you live with it forever.
Yeah, I shame. I'm like Constantine.
Okay, so my first pick is actually an homage to you, Mark.
Ooh.
Just be aware of that. Check this out. I picked Jericho Kane.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Who was played by Arnold Schwarzenegger in the movie End of Days.
Yes.
I just think it's great that he's even told you about that.
Yeah. Oh, so if you haven't listened, guys, I'll attach the clip to the this. So look for the Movies, Films, and Flicks. You'll see the one for Constantine, and in the blog post on Movies, Films, and Flicks, I'll include the clip of Jericho and his and his brother Hank.
Because we mentioned, we heard all about Jericho in the Steel Dawn podcast.
Yep, and Jericho is a no-nonsense Mad Max type who's a little crazier, but he's also stuck with his brother who's like a glue-huffing ne'er-do-well. So it's a two of them.
But no,
Yeah.
Yes. So when End of Days came out, it was 1999, and I had just told my friend group at high school that I was going to Bible college. So they were like, so they took me to go see this movie almost as like a rib where you're like, okay, God, this is what you're going to school for. You're going to be the next Jericho Kane. And I was like, I don't think that's exactly what's happening. But I remember thinking it was funny that this guy thought he could fight the devil with guns. I thought that was a real neat thing, but he gets there eventually. So he's a guy who goes up against the baddest bat of them all and comes out okay. Like he does a good job. He nails it.
I mean,
so I think that would be a good guy on our team.
The one problem with him, and I'm 100% for him being on the team, but his name, Jericho and Kane. What do you call him? Hey Kane or hey Jericho. You can't have two demon hunting names. Like Jebediah would.
I call him. Well, you know what's crazy about that?
What?
His initials are JC.
Oh my gosh. All right, I'm good. I'm sold. All right.
It's amazing.
All right, so my next one is really random, but it's Father Lozano, played by Michael Pena from the Vatican tapes, and it's a subpar movie.
You
but
just picked that because of Michael Pena.
I love Michael Pena. I'm a huge Michael Pena.
100%.
His conversation about undercoating on vehicles, washing the undercarriage wash, is my favorite MCU moment, and just having Michael Pena in this movie. I just want Michael Pena in more movies. So I picked Father Lozano from the Vatican tapes. No one saw it, but it's Michael Pena.
Okay.
All right, Meg.
Makes sense. My next pick is Perdita Weeks from As Above, So Below.
Ooh.
She's the main girl who they go down to the catacombs, and she's the first one to figure out how they face their demons to get out of the Paris catacombs.
They go into hell.
They go into hell.
They go into the Paris catacombs, which is horrible enough.
And they have to face their worst fear.
And they go into hell, and she makes it out to go Indiana Jones another day.
It's not a secret. I'm not really into horror movies. They don't really scare me. I think they're kind of corny, but this one's creepy.
Yeah. And she's cool. She's like a Tomb Raider. I like it. Parody of the week.
That's a great pick. My number 2 is Klaus Hargraves from The Umbrella Academy.
Ooh.
Oh, we haven't watched that yet. How is it?
It's fantastic. It's a perfect combination of X-Men and The Watchmen.
Ooh. Oh, that's fun. I keep getting the ads on Instagram. I'll be scrolling through, and I get the same exact ad every time. 38 women were not pregnant one day, and the next they were.
Right. So I won't tell you, if you guys haven't seen, I won't tell you too much. But Klaus Hargraves is one of the Umbrella Academy kids, and he can channel the dead.
Ooh.
And then he develops some other powers that he can fight in that realm, is what I would say. That's all I'll say to you guys right now. But he's a crazy character. So he becomes a drug addict to very much like in Constantine, to silence the voices.
I like it. I like people named Klaus. I trust them.
Oh, that's kind of like Legion.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. All right. So for me is it's 3 people, but it's 1 person. I'm going with Elise, Tucker, and Specs from Insidious 1 through 4. I think Elise, played by Lynn Shay, is the hero that we don't deserve in the 21st century. She is just a good human being who puts her neck out on the line to help people. There's nothing selfish. There's nothing. Oh man, I got goosebumps talking about it. She's such a nice, brave. Gosh, I got hairs on my neck. She's just a good person who goes into the further to help people for not selfish reasons. And Tucker and Specs, they're comedic relief, but they're the same way as well. They just go to help people. And so I gotta have Lynn Shay in my crew because she's awesome. And Tucker and Specs. So those are mine. Yeah, those are mine. Mm-hmm. All right, Meg.
I'm going to go with Theo from Haunting of Hill House.
Ooh.
Because she's just a badass.
Yeah, she is.
And when she gets money from her brother's book deal, she gets an effing PhD.
That's awesome.
He asks her if she's going to go buy some handbags or go on a vacation, all these frivolous things, and she says, I'm getting my effing PhD.
That was gangster. He actually said handbags. You can go get some handbags?
Mm-hmm.
No,
Theo's cool, and she deals with the fact that she can touch things and feel the spirits around them, and she's interacting with ghosts.
I love it.
She's cool.
Right. Beautiful. So my next pick is Tangina Barnes from Poltergeist.
Oh, she's great.
That little lady. Who's like, the house is clean. That's so. She's like no one's gonna see her coming.
Never.
Right? She's so unassuming that it's going to be like, what? And out of nowhere, boom, she just exercises the demons. She just gets right in there.
And she's the same way, too. She's just a good person.
Yeah, she's just a great person.
Man, I love that line.
That line was, as a kid, wasn't allowed to watch that movie, but stayed up anyways and watched it. And it's just like, what is happening? And that line to this day like gives me chills. It's delivered so well.
Yeah, she crushed it. What was the actress's name?
What was her name? Because she was in a couple like bit parts like that.
Yeah.
Zelda Rubinstein.
She crushed it. She was iconic for that role. All right.
Absolutely.
Me is, the movie's horrible, but I like Damian Bashir, so I went with Father Burke from The Nun. Because I just like Damian Bashir. And I just want to see him in a movie. The Nun's very bad.
That's good.
Very bad. But, I don't know.
Which is weird because the rest of them leading up were pretty good.
Yeah.
Just like, there was this new kind of horror movie that was coming out and like a new like combined universe, which was cool, but I don't, The Nun didn't hold up for me.
I just like Damian Bashir. I just like these guys. I want to see them in movies. But no, I mean, he hung tough. He did a good job. He fought the nun.
Yep.
That's a terrifying thing to do. He gets points. He survived a bad
Absolutely.
movie. I'm happy the nun did well because it got eyes on him. And I like that Talisa Farmiga too. So I'm happy people got eyes on them from that movie. So that's a bonus. All right, what you got, Meg?
Are we doing 4 or 5?
5.
Okay, good. My next one is Gemma Arterton as Gretel from Hansel and Gretel.
I love that. I love that movie.
So I was nervous that we were all going like more of the seance route, kind of connected to that universe, and my next guy is a real gunslinger, but Megan beat me to the punch of like picking out a guy who just like shoots from the hip.
She just guns people down.
Yeah, she's awesome, and she complains about the tight leather she has to wear, and she's constantly doesn't she get all the backlash? Like, doesn't that blob thing explode on her?
Yeah, it blows up, but Jeremy Renner moves out of the way, and she just gets doused with it.
And I just enjoy Gemma Arterton.
Yeah.
She makes a couple comments where it's like, oh, does this character know she's in a movie? Like, she kind of flirts with like the Deadpool-esque kind of like fourth wall breaking.
Yeah. And she's a good actress too. She needs more roles. Crush some demons. All right, who you got?
Seth Gecko.
Seth Gecko.
From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah.
George Clooney.
Oh, good one. I almost picked somebody from that one.
That's a good one.
Because it's like, he isn't a good guy. We have a lot of good guys in our teams. He's not. He's a murderer. Like, he's not Richard Gecko, but he's Seth Gecko. And
Michael Douglas. I want to see Michael Douglas in this movie. Oh wait, yeah, get Gordon Gecko. My bad. Yeah. It
was Tarantino, his brother. Remember his crazy brother?
I was just thinking about Michael Douglas from Wall Street.
That'd be amazing too. No, I want a crossover where he's like their uncle. And they're stealing money to invest, like they're robbing banks, just to invest with him on the stock market.
Sounds like a TV show.
And then their boss is Leo's character, Jordan from Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, goodness, that's fantastic.
We're getting in there.
That's fantastic.
Vin Diesel's in there.
What I'm saying...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Is in our demon fighting team, every now and then one of our friends is going to get possessed, right? And we got to kill someone that's like our friend. But it's just, and he won't hesitate because he's a murderer. He'll be the guy who can pull the trigger when we morally can't.
Yeah, we need him on the team.
We need one of those.
Because we don't have one of those yet. All right. Am I last? Oh no.
You're on your last one.
So I'm gonna pick. You know what? I'm just gonna throw it. I had one picked, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna add Matthew Lillard. He doesn't even need a character name from 13 Ghosts.
Matthew Lillard, the actor.
Yes. The character. We did a podcast about it. It's out right now. You can listen to it. But yeah, his character from 13 Ghosts, because he can sense ghosts, right? He can put his hand on something and see it. No one in here, I think, has that power. Theo does. Right. Never mind. But yeah, he looks great in a turtleneck in the movie. He sacrifices himself for Tony Shalhoub. And 13 Ghosts features a fist fight between Tony Shalhoub and F. Murray Abraham, by the way. You got to see it. But yeah, I just like Matthew Lillard. I think he deserves more. So my team is so weird. Yeah, so Matthew Lillard from 13 Ghosts. I was going to say Elizabeth Warren from The Conjuring, but she's just too good. Okay. She's too good. She's too nice. We needed more Lillard.
Absolutely.
All right, Meg.
All right, I'm going to go with the ultimate nice guy, Mark Ruffalo as David from Just Like Heaven.
The rom-com?
Yes.
Yes. Hey, he moves into an apartment. He befriends a ghost. He falls in love with her, helps her find her body. Come on.
Is this the one with Eva Longoria and Lake Bell?